I've escaped the clutches of famine at the hands of my own family members.
Kunomuntu vese onesibopho sasekhabo ma okwathi umekhulelwa uma wakhe kwaliwa ekhaya kwaxatshanwa kakhulu but ingane ithe imisi ikhula ingxabano zahlala phezu kwakho awungezwe ukuthi ngithini lo muntu loyo inkulumo zihleli esibethweni samakho wasiwaphuma manje uyathola kunabantu abafasa inhle uma even ewushada kona angancamungisi wasana ngaphumelela nje emshadweni ngoba ebambe le yanto
The mighty, all bark, no bite. Lady in Black, time and again, has poisoned me. I used to have major skin issues. Growing up, my goodness. Amathumba. I had boils all over my body. Thanks to Lady in Black. That's my mom, by the way. My mom's little sister. Cleansing myself from the inside out. Thanks to my mom's little sister, bewitching me left, right, and center, trying to eliminate me. Everywhere we'd consult, from inyanga to isangoma to umthandazi to umfundisi, anywhere and everywhere, we'd be told the same thing over and over again. Nihlala nomthakathi, nihlala nenyoka, nihlala nesitha senu endlini. You're literally living with your worst enemy. Obviously, they're constantly trying to eliminate you. Everywhere we went, that's the one thing we constantly heard. This person hates your guts, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to sway them and bring them closer and win them over. They hate you for simply existing. The same Lady in Black who'd make a mockery out of all my pain and my traumas, the same traumas that she caused when I was going through it in agony because of the poison that she would feed me as a child, because of the witchcraft, the dark magic that she would practice, bringing about agonizing physical manifestations. Kumin. And she would laugh about it with her evil laugh and make jokes pertaining to my pain. Laugh. Laughing at my pain. Hey, guys. Muntu. Family, the worst. Friends, next. There's a story coming right up pertaining to friends. But let's focus on Lama Pika Sekai. Let's focus on my family members, my evil, very, very conniving family members. The very same Lady in Black, as a grown is-ass woman who had the gall to say, the only Leo that I don't get along with is Zaneng. Talking about a toddler. Idiot. Bloody sicko. The very same Lady in Black who would smack me upside the head, who would violate me in the worst ways for sweet nothing, for simply existing. And then when I'd leave the house, either to go to school or to go to my aunt's house and visit my cousins or my friends or whatever, and she'd say, if you dare open your mouth and tell people what I do to you, you will know me well. I will show you flames. You don't know the half of it. If you think what I do to you when we're alone is a lot, you have no idea what I'm capable of, my dear. If you dare tell people what I do to you and what I say to you, you will learn. The very same Lady in Black who'd throw me to the wolves as a voluptuous child, who'd send me oh Zefu, oh Banban, oh Taiman, who'd send me to go buy her liquor as a child. One man, knowing very well that there are predators in that space. And chances are I would be violated in the worst ways, or I wouldn't even be able to come back home. Because that's what she wanted. Mind you, she said that countless times. She said, I wish you never come back home. I hope and pray that one slimanyana day I find you. I I can't wait to find your lifeless body. A grown is-ass woman, old enough to be my mom, old enough to be my grandmom, uttering such words to a child. I wasn't even a teen when those words were uttered to me. The very same lady in black who had my mom and I looking for someone who would sew my dress for my aunt's wedding, because she said she doesn't want to touch anything that has to do with me. Mind you, I'm a child. When my mom asked her, please make my daughter's dress, she said, no, I want no parts. My blood and your daughter's blood do not mix. And what would always blow my mind is how she would use our ancestors and be like, my ancestors just do not permit. That time, those are my ancestors too. So what are you talking about? Just say it out loud. Your demons are just like, nah, they can't stand me. Anything is she couldn't outright say that, yo man, your child's too powerful for me, I can't touch anything of hers. She'll expose me. And guess what? She happily, gladly, excitedly sewed my cousin's dress, and it was gorgeous. I remember it was green. It was beautiful. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. I'm a truth teller. It was stunning. That time my mom and I are running out of time trying to find someone who'll sew my dress. Ended up finding omunye umuntu nje wasemahashahasheni oyibhadaniselayo nje nawe yambona ukuthi uyafufusa akazi nanokuthi aqale ngaphi ayephi abambeni ayekeni wangithungela ngematerial ekaka brown. We found the seamstress who works at a funky street and we asked for her help and she was like, sure. She sewed my dress using kaka brown material. My dress was a mess. I hated it, but I had no choice but to wear it. All that time, that effort, that energy that my mom put into finding someone who'll sew my dress. I've got to wear it. And it's too late to find something. And the plan was, you know, we go all out for our loved ones. So I wanted to look good at my aunt's wedding. Yo, I looked a hot mess. And I remember the smirk on Lady in Black's face when she saw me wearing that ugly dress. Hey! And she was like, yeah. Lady in Black is the type that gets so excited, so thrilled any and every time something bad happens to me and my mom. Even if it's the teeny weeniest thing. But the fact that yo, she gets so excited, and I'm sure in her little corner, her little dark corner, I am certain that her and her demons have a blast and they celebrate whenever something bad happens to my mom and I. And the sad thing is that we always get past these things. It could be the biggest, most devastating thing, and we always get past it. We always come out stronger, better, wiser, and we go ham after that. It's the wildest thing. It's actually so funny to watch. As an outsider looking in, and of course I have some of my friends and some of my family members who are aware of all these shenanigans, and when they talk about how funny it is when they just observe the reactions of Lady in Black, pickle and anger issues whenever good things happen to my mom and I after something bad or something tragic had happened. It's like a movie, because they think and they hope and pray that we'll always be down, always be sad, devastated, miserable. But we always get back up. We always bounce back. We're so resilient, so gifted, so blessed and recovered by the blood of Jesus. So we'll always be good no matter what happens. And that bothers them, that irks them to the core. And that is why they constantly try with all their might and by any means necessary to mess with our heads. And unfortunately for them, I know who they are and I know who I am. So they've never won at getting to me. But they would always succeed at breaking my mom's heart though. I'll tell you that much, and that would hurt me. And so all my life I've been fighting for my mom. I've been trying to help her see the light. I've been trying to help her get over these people that she loves and adores and respects so much, and whom she wants a relationship with so much, regardless of how much they hate her, how much they're jealous of her, how much they envy her, how much they've hurt her child. All her life, all she's been fighting for is peace, a good, happy, healthy, solid relationship with her siblings. And it's just like, bro, it'll never happen. Leave it to God. If it's gonna happen in this lifetime, God will make it happen. It's not your fight. You've lost the battle. There wasn't even a battle, my nigga. The fact that you exist disrupts their demons. Your light is too much for them. You will never be okay with them. Even if you do force matters, how many times have you? And how did that work out? Exactly. The very same lady in black who during my varsity days, when I thought, okay, things are probably better now that I'm out of the house and I don't get to experience all that crap that I was experiencing when I was living with her. I'm out now. I'm out in the world, living on my own, doing my thing. I'm happy. I'm protected from her. So chances are she's forgotten about the hate that she harbors for me. I don't even know what my reasoning was centered around. I was just delusional because I wanted to believe that the hate could never be that deep. Little did I know, because I bought this beautiful African print material and I was like, oh, you know? And I thought, if my aunt were to sew this boob tube top for me, it would look stunning, because that's her steez. She is mwah when it comes to that. And instead of people focusing on their gifts and their talents and blossoming in the fields that they're gifted in, they just want to focus on us. Anywho, so I was like, my aunt is gonna chop this up and I'm gonna, you feel me? Baby, I give her the material and I'm like, I'd like something like this, and I know you're the only person who could execute it the way that I want it to be executed, or even better. So tell me how much it's gonna cost and I got you. Ne? And she says, I'd bet. How? 1 month goes by and I'm like, how are the goings? I'm back in varsity now. I gave her this material during the holidays, so I go back to varsity. She still hasn't started. I'm like, let me not rush her. Already but I'm trying to support black business, plus it's family, you know, regardless of the things that she's done and said to me. Let me support. Yabo. Go back to varsity. A month goes by. I'm like, how are the goings? And she's like, I haven't started. I'm like, hey, before I step on her toes, because I know the fact that I'm even speaking to her irks her. So let me chill. 3 months go by. I'm like, how are the goings? I haven't started. 6 months go by. I ask again, how are the goings? Mind you, my friends and I had an event to attend after the varsity holidays, and I thought I'd wear that top there. So obviously by now, it's a really event. The event has passed, but I'm still checking in, and I'm like, okay, I'll wear it some other time still, so it's fine. How are the goings? 6 months later, my spirit is just like, nah, I can't sew this. Oh my, that's weird. You're able to sew everything else for everybody else. Why is it that when it comes to me, you just can't do it? Your spirit says no. Hey, and I was like, question. We were taught that we don't challenge her, we don't question her. She knows it all. She is the vessel or the medium through which our ancestors communicate. So when the spirit says Agvomi, those are our ancestors. My ancestors saying they don't want to touch anything that has to do with me. The very same ancestors that are constantly blessing me, protecting me from all the evil of the world that comes with, yeah, no lady in black, pick, anger issues, and all their minions. All of a Sunday, through her, ati agvum, kwenziwa izinto ey'thinta mina. They can't afford to touch anything that has to do with me. Hey! Bantu. Right, so I fetch my material and I'm like, hey man, I'm done trying, hey? I'm done. All my life I've tried and I'm just done. Because it's not even like these people do anything for me or contribute positively to my life. All they do is bring agony, stress, trauma, suffering. Like what am I trying to do? And for what? Let's say we do foster this relationship. What am I getting out of it? Because my mom and I constantly give. Yet we're always violated, abused, blamed for things we have nothing to do with. So sizamani, singangeni. Like for real. So I fetched my material from her. And I remember thinking, I'll take it to someone else, whatevs, hey? Baby, I kid you not. After having taken that material, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I was sick as foko. Hello. And then, gamili zinto. All of a sudden, singene rash. Le rash iphenduka amapanyaza. Hayibo, a rash is manifesting on my body. Like, what's happening? I can't eat, I can't sleep. Anxiety attacks have me in a chokehold. What is going on? I'm dreaming of things that are just out of this world, just scary things. I'm constantly fighting crocodiles, lions, tigers, bears, snakes. What's happening? I go consult, and baby, I kid you not, the minute I set foot in that Sangoma's house, he was like, ooh. Baby girl, I fear for your life. You're living with the devil. She hates your guts. She tries with all her might to hurt you, to eliminate you. Oh my gosh, your poor mom. Bless her heart. Bless her pure soul. She constantly tries to fix this mess. It'll never be fixed. It's not her fault. It's not your fault. It's a deep issue within the people that hate you. Nothing you guys do will appease them, please them, or help remedy this predicament. I'm like, what do you mean, Baba? He's like, you took a piece of material from someone a few days ago, and I can see you're restless. You have dark circles under your eyes. You're a walking zombie. You don't sleep, you don't eat. Lift up your top. Let me look at your back. I lift my top. Ginjan. I had something that looked like shingles. Hey. He was like, oh, my poor child. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. And it's very unfortunate that you and your mom are very trusting. That you and your mom are peace seekers and peacemakers. But at your expense. There's no peace. If your family members are ballsy enough to collaborate and combine forces, dark forces, with ezinyi zangoma nezinyi inyanga to ensure your demise, there is nothing to fix. Those are your enemies. Stop looking at them. Sometimes we're born into certain families to teach us about people, to teach us about the different spirits that exist in this world. And the closer they are to you, the more they affect you directly, the clearer your vision will be. There are lessons to be learned here. It's not that you need to fix or mend any relationship. That's not the goal here. There are lessons that God and your ancestors are trying to teach you, but you're overlooking them because you can't see past the physical. And unfortunately, because my mom and I are very generous, very considerate, very selfless, even though this person had not given me what I wanted, I still gave her money, thanking her for even considering to sew this boob tube top for me. I know, stupid, like super foolish. But I was like, hey man, because I just wanted that approval. I wanted to win her over because for the longest time I didn't understand why she hated me. I didn't understand why she hated my mom, because we've always been good people. We've always done good by everyone, including her, regardless of the things she said and done to us. So I was like, chances are, if I'm just like, okay, I get that you couldn't do this, but thank you for even considering it. Thank you for even There was a time where you were just like, oh, let me start, but you just couldn't because your spirit was like, nah. So now I was on that tip. I was on some, let me show how grateful I am that she even considered to do something like that for me. So I gave her $200. But I remember I was working. Evasi. Mind you, I've been grinding. I've been working since I was 18. So it really upsets me when people act like my mom and I just get things handed over to us on a silver platter. Blessings, luck, opportunity just land on our laps. Kanjalo nje, we don't work hard, JT. You know, we've been grinding. Yabo? So I gave her $200 and I was like, thanks for trying. Thanks for even considering doing something for me. Thanks for even seeing me as your child, ma. Yo, guys. The fact that I still considered her as my mom. Because my love has always just been real. It's always been genuine. So I never understood the hate. Because if someone is your relative, especially your mom's sibling, that's your parent, so you automatically love them the minute you enter this world. So for them to hate you so much, like, it's mind-boggling. And Lapo, I just held on to the love and I was like, one day. Where? Whew. So yeah, this Sangoma said to me, why did you give this woman money? And I was like, what are you talking about, sir? I had even forgotten about that $200. And he was like, you gave your mom's sister $200. Why? And I was like, it was a token of my appreciation. And he was like, for what? Did she deliver the service you had asked her to deliver? And I said, no. And he said, exactly. So what were you paying her for? Were you trying to buy her love? That's exactly what I was trying to do. And I said, chances are. And he said, yeah. That's exactly what you were trying to do. Little did you know that she's going to take that money and she's going to use it. Also, sebenza. She's going to use it for evil. She's going to turn your own earnings against you. She's going to shut every door in your face because she doesn't want you to succeed. Why would you sabotage yourself like that? And I was like, I didn't know it was this deep. I thought it was just some petty-ish. I thought my relatives were just moody and they were going through their own traumas and pains and struggles and they would take it out on my mom and I because we're the softest people in the family. I don't know. And he was like, she's gonna practice witchcraft on that money. But fortunately for you, you came to the right place. And he gave me iswashu. He gave me something to bathe with. And then he said to me, I need you to understand how deep this is and how dangerous your family members are. As we speak, uhamba nesilwane, nendlovundlovu, umavuguvugu wesilwane. Everywhere you go, you're followed by this entity. Because the goal is to ensure that uyanyanyisa, awuthandeki. The goal is to strip you of your light, your luck, your beauty. Because it's overwhelming for your family members. Asam semfuleni. And he took me to a river and he instructed me to bathe myself while he prayed for me. And as soon as I got out, he covered me and he said, don't look back. And we walked away from that river and I never looked back. And the day before my umemulo, he said, I'm coming to your home and I'm going to help you. I'm going to fortify your home and I'm going to fortify you. Because your family members, especially Lady in Black, who stays in that family home, is working tirelessly to ensure that your ceremony is unsuccessful. And so he came. The day before my umemulo, my sangoma came. He fortified my home. He fortified me. He prayed for me. And he was like, yo, please be careful. Please pray. This is bigger than you think it is. This is bigger than you'll ever know. I made him food, I made him drinks. We sat on the veranda, had a little chat, and he left and he said, I wish you well. I wish you luck. You're already blessed. You have all the luck in the world. You're already something huge. And that's why you're constantly being fought. You don't even realize how much of a big story you are. So please take these fights and all these challenges seriously. and fight back. And I said, I'd bet. And he said, if anything happens prior to, during, or even after your ceremony, know that it's the devil working tirelessly to ruin it. Wenaqina. Hold on to your faith. Keep believing in God. Pray and ask your ancestors, the real ones, not the ones that she uses to justify her evil deeds and her poor behavior. Ask your ancestors to protect you, because they're here and they love you. And they've got your back and they know everything that goes down. Hence, you're still alive. Because they too are working tirelessly to protect you. You're the chosen one. And he said, this woman is going to act a fool. She's going to cause a scene. Uzokwenza something in a drama phakathi. Just so the attention goes to her. Because she's a narcissist. She's sick. But she's also possessed. And she's also a witch. Kuningi, and it keeps getting guningier. There are many facets and layers to her. And so she'll do something. She'll say some things. Know who you are. You remember who you are. Pray for your mom. Protect your mom. She's not as strong as you are. She needs you. I said, I'd bet. Baby! Akabhuquzanga yini phansi the night before umemulo wami. Enza lezi zinto zakhe. Uzenza ugogo wami manje. Yabona ke manje ningivuselani yini le niyenza phakathi kwamagcekami. What are you talking about? So my mom and I were trying to figure out, man, my two girlies who were going to be my support system had arrived. We had to be in isolation, so we stayed in the outside building during the ceremony preparations. So now my girlies have arrived. My support system has arrived. I now go. Uyaphodla, uyanyanyisa. Uzenza ugogo. Niyangihlupha manje, ngilele ngohlangothi lubhlungu, niyangiphazamisa mina sengimdala. Yini le nizoyenza amagcekeni akwami? Siyakhuluma ke sinoma gogo kwenza umemulo la ingane ikhulile iphethe kahle iyafunda sifuna nanokwenza i-graduation party nje uma uyachaza. My mom's explaining to my grandmother, who's speaking via Lady in Black, that my daughter is all grown up now. She's done super well at school, pasanga malengi, so she's currently doing brilliantly at school as well. So we want to celebrate her. We want to have a graduation party, but also a coming of age party, because she's all grown up and she took care of herself. She's represented our family and our surname beautifully. She's a lady. She loves herself. She takes care of herself. She's brilliant in every way, and we just want to celebrate her, and we want to make sure our ancestors are aware of what's happening and they're a part of it, because they've also contributed to her growth and her success. I, Lady in Black, ezenza ugogo e-act ngoba phela uya-act. Yabona ke manje anikwazi ukuthi ningavele nenze izinto ey'kanjena nisaney'kweleti emsamo. Iy'kweleti emsamo ezenze njani? So my mom's like, what are you talking about? We don't owe anything. I've done everything for this child, like, and she's walking in the right path. And so Lady in Black says, "Ay phela angithi wena sewakhetha ukuqhelelana nathi, wena usuwazi uJesu, wena usuwazi uNkulunkulu, awusasazi thina siyabakini, awusasazi sikuzala thina." Again, my mom had chosen to steer clear of izinto zamadlozi and she was just like, strictly God, strictly Jesus, and everything else that I've done without knowing what it entails, I no longer want to be a part of, yabo. And so Lady in Black is now using that against her. And then Lady in Black says, yabona nje awukwazi ukuthi ungavele usiflathele thina singamadlozi akho usibone njengamadimoni bese ulokuthi wena uthanda uNkulunkulu, wena uthanda uJesu. So my mom's just like, oh my gosh, this is the exact reason why I said I'm not doing this anymore. Because if my ancestors are going to threaten me, if they're going to threaten my daughter's life, if they're constantly going to shout at me and make me feel like I'm a bad person after everything that I've done for this family, it just doesn't make sense to me to keep praising them or worshiping them or to keep doing anything for them, because clearly these aren't my ancestors. My ancestors, my guardian angels, know that I'm a good person, that I'm a lover, that I'm pure-hearted, I'm a giver, I'm a peace seeker, I'm a peacemaker, and I've done so much for this family, and I continue to do so much for this family, and so does my daughter. So what more do they want from us? Why is it that every single time these ancestors of ours speak on us, it's always something negative, and it's always followed by a threat, and it's always followed by someone's gonna shock, someone's gonna lose this, someone's gonna lose that. Aren't you supposed to be my guardian angels? Aren't you supposed to protect me, bless me, and make sure I'm good? So if you're acting like my enemy, what does that make you really? This is the exact reason why I stopped prioritizing such things, because they come with nothing but stress, trauma, skippy mali, wire. We're constantly consulting, spending, slaughtering, but nothing seems to appease them. Nothing. There's always something that went wrong. A step was missed during this particular ceremony, therefore we're gonna need to go back and redress that and then move on to the next step. Apeli, aglungi, nempilo iyamansi. We're constantly using money, energy, strength, time, taking off work to attend to these things because our lives are suddenly in danger, because ugogo nomkhulu bangidinelwe ngakho ke bazongiginqa neemoto, bazongivala amadlebe, bazongivala amehlo, bazongidlela umuzi, ngizophelelwa umsebenzi, ngizogula, inganyama izofa, ugogo nomkhulu wami nayo ngempela. And so my mom was just like, oh, Jesus, oh, moyo ngcwele, ngenelela baba. And she started praying, oh, moyo ngcwele, shandaraba, yekele riba, oh, shandaraba, yekele bibarabo, vivara lasa. So she started praying, bro. Yo, did Lady in Black not say, yay, oh, hlukane nalabo, Jesu, Jesus, kokunuka, umazela Jesus. Oh, again, yini. Mina ugogo wami wayemthanda kabi uJesu. Mina wonke umuntu engimaziyo wasekhaya osadlula emhlabeni ebengimthanda nobengithanda bemazi uNkulunkulu emthanda ukufa. Why is it that all of a sudden, now that you're manifesting via Lady in Black and samazi uJesu and some phony, he agitates you, God irritates you, God's name, Jesus' name, should no longer be brought up in this home? The very same home esasikhuliswa nguNkulunkulu noJesu kulo. Njani? Aya bhuquza. Next thing. Umkhulu ke manje sekungena umkhulu sekuyabheswa. Nina ingane niyahlupha, nezilibele ubani zalwa ngobane. Wepetu akasa act to Lady in Black. Bakhohle njalo abantu ukuthi sifundile idrama. Naturally ke sama actress. On top of that ngayofunda idrama esikoleni, ngayiphasa ngamalengiso, ngathola nane award. Umqomelo wokuthi ngibashaya bonke, ngibangqwahaza bonke emakhanda when it comes to idrama. I won the Best Dramatic Arts Student Award in high school. I got like 98% for drama. It's my thing. So I can tell when someone's acting. And I went further. First year, I studied drama as an elective module. Had fun, but I was like, I want to focus on other things. Actress from birth, okay? So I'm like, I'm observing all of this. Remember, my Sangoma told me, be aware, be prepared. Kuzo actor, kuzo bhuquzwa, some sort of scene will be caused just to shift the attention from you and your mom, and just to scare you and to make you feel some type of way, as long as that feeling isn't good. Know what's happening. Don't be moved. Here I am observing this nonsense. Hi. Uma's like, oh, mkhulu, kodwa sithi siyalungisa senzela umntwana. Konke sithi khamba kahle nina nomndeni wethu. Surely you would approve of something of this nature. You know, this is a good thing. So I don't understand why you're fighting. I remember just telling mom, hey ma, siphuma kuleli kamera. Kushisa lapho ngathi sisihogweni in Lady in Black's bedroom. It was hot. It was hot. It was like we were dancing with the devil. So I was like, hey mom, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. We'll never hear the end of this. I know Lady in Black can go on and on and on until the sun comes up. That's how much she loves attention. She yearns for attention every second of her life. So if you're gonna give it to her, she will go on and on and on and on and on. And I was like, mom, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. We walk out of there and I tell mom, I knew this was gonna happen. So I tell her everything my Sangoma had said. And she's like, okay. Makes sense, because she's been like this. We know she's this type of person, and every time something pertaining to either you, me, or the both of us happens, surely kuzoba ne drama coming from yena, pickle or anger issues, but surely we know this. It's their steez. So let's just focus on things that need us to focus on, right? Because how dare we ignore her? The worst thing you could ever do to a narcissist is ignore them. Washamashushu, wasilandela, wabuquza phansi njengenyoka, wapinyilika, uhlanya. Uzubone how deep and intense ukuhlanya is ekhaya. Pinyilika. Ngithi mina kuyothi mhlani ginqa leyo nkomo kusasa nihlaba kube ginqika kwalengane. How? Now my own grandfather is threatening to off me. He says the minute they slaughter my cow tomorrow morning, I will also shuck Bantu. He says the minute that the cow meant for my ceremony gets slaughtered and takes its last breath, I too will take my last breath. Banna. So obviously my mom starts panicking and she's like, I can't lose my child. And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, relax mom, that isn't gonna happen. Let's go pray. Some sheganjale. She was angry. She was furious. Because how dare you not take me seriously? How dare you ignore me? Because to her, it's all about me. And for the longest time, I've managed to use our ancestors as a tool to control each and every member of this family. So now you two think you know it all and you can see right through me? Who do you think you are? I will show you. My ceremony was a huge success. Bazama. Caught Lady in Black gossiping to her daughter about my mom, and I was just like, yo, you're sick. Now you're involving an innocent child in your mess, in your hatred, in your anger, in your animosity, in your envy, in your jealousy. You're just a sick fool, you know? I figure anger issues. Hey, leyo nyama lolo tshwala nenzani nalapho. Hey man. Some ziba paid them dust, focused on the ceremony, and everything was a huge success. I must mention though that my mom was towards the end of that ceremony because they were working tirelessly. Oh, Lady in Black and her minions working tirelessly trying to end my mom and I on that day, and they failed. My mom was super exhausted. At some point she was so weak she could barely walk, and I was there. I had her back and I made sure she was fine, and we made it through the day, and we're still here. But if anything happens to my mom or to me, know that they're responsible. Know this. Speaking of that ceremony, a friend of a friend came up to me during that ceremony and she was like, I need the loo, bae. And I showed her the outside loo. Yabo? So she went there and she came back looking like she had seen a ghost. And she says to me, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, tell you what? And she's like, she pulls me to the side and she's like, my goodness, the things that I saw in your bathroom, bae. I'm like, what did you see? She's like, ilwane, bro, like scary animals, dark entities, like evil spirits. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, your house, your family is infested. Kugcwele ilwane, kugcwele evil spirits, kugcwele umona, kugcwele inzondo. And oh my goodness, you poor child. You and your mom are constantly targets in this home, and it's so sad because you live with these people and they hate your guts. I need you to take this seriously. I know you don't know me like that and I don't know you like that, but what I saw, what was revealed to me in that bathroom, no, girl, you're in danger. Your mom is in danger, constantly in danger. Even when you think things are good, you're in danger. Your family hates you. And there's the biggest mamba of them all. She doesn't sleep. And if you want to know who this mamba is and who her minions are, because baningi, it's not just her, they're busy. She has a lot of people backing her, and these people happen to be very close to you. You're thinking, ribabotle, you're thinking they've got your back. They see everything that's constantly done to you, and they console you sometimes. Sometimes they turn a blind eye and they act like, hey, they even say, hey, what's us now again? Hey, uyangithanda kodwa ngudadweni. Ngiyahlukunyezwa ngudadweni uma wena uyahlukunyezwa. Kodwa nithi nina ningeni. Ngigitheka nezitha zethu. Nazi kahle ukuthi thina sikaze sonemuntu siyoniwa waya la ekhaya. Kodwa nina. Hey. And she said, you think people love you, people have your back, people empathize and sympathize with you, but they're just like low-key, they're like, good. Because they too are jealous and envious of you and your mom. Especially you, Wenangani. And there's a crew, a younger generation coming up after this generation, Yabazalbin, that's also very jealous and envious of you. Watch your back. Don't trust completely. And she said to me, if you want to see all these people who are combining forces to bring you down, go to that rondafel, go to that hut, take this, take that, take that, take that, mix it together. Pasha. Call upon your ancestors. They're constantly with you. Call upon them. Ask them to reveal the faces, not just the names or the actions. No, the faces, the names, the actions, and what's to come from your enemies. And trust and believe me when I tell you that all your enemies are your family members. All your enemies are closest to you. I'm so sorry. And she hugged me. Yo! Uhlevani. Goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now as I speak about this. And I'm so glad and beyond grateful that God and my guardian angels have removed me from my enemies. Time and time again. And sometimes, Pelatina, we look at things with the human eye and we're like, okay, so-and-so is being much nicer to me now. Surely they regret their past actions. Surely they're no longer working towards bringing about my demise. Surely they love me now and they see me for who I am, and they realize and understand that I don't deserve any hate, any jealousy, any envy, because I'm just doing my thing. I'm working hard, bro. I go through the most. I'm just like them. I just want to live a good life, and I'm working my butt off. And I'm sorry for not being sorry for succeeding. I can't be sorry that God is on my side. I can't be apologetic that my ancestors love me and protect me and they bless me. Perhaps if your heart were even half as pure as mine, you'd experience some of the things I experience. Until today, the people that I've been trying to bring closer to me have proven, Uguti, no. The battle The war is still ongoing, sweets. Don't you dare let your guard down and think all is well. Ain't shit sweet? While Lady in Black will pretend to vomit and will spit whenever anyone talks about my mom's home, because her jealousy is that deep. The other ones won't even applaud when I purchase my own home. People you thought knew better and would do better after experiencing and witnessing the nonsense that's been ongoing emdenini wethu. Younger generations will look at you achieving things and just watch and keep quiet. That time you constantly praise them when they do well. You're constantly motivating them to do better. You help where you can. You console when things go wrong. When things go wrong, they're like, ha, yeah. They constantly remind you that usazofela umzali wena. Imagine, like I know my mom's gonna pass away one day. Just like I knew that my dad would pass away one day. We're not immortal. Everybody's gonna meet their demise one day. So you constantly reminding me that I'm still gonna lose my parents. Like, what are you hoping to achieve? What are you hoping to achieve? The aim is just to freak me out, to bring about anxiety and stress, because it's something you keep praying for, because it's something you keep praying happens sooner than it should. I've got such evil family members. I remember when I still had both parents, people would crucify me. It was like I offed their parents. People would crucify me for having both parents. My dad would come and visit me and he'd leave me with a few coins. And I'd take my coins and I'd put them in my blazer. Sometimes I'd share my coins with everybody. Sometimes I wouldn't, because they're my coins. I'm already sharing my parents. My dad has 17 children, so I only get to see him every now and then. I'm already sharing my mom. Like, mina nje ngidalelwe la emhlabeni ukuthi ngizoshare nje. Ngingabi nento ethi mina, hayibo kahleni. Ngibulele ba kanti. Ngone ba mina. And they would fault me for keeping my money to myself after everything that I'd shared. And they'd make me feel guilty. Like, and then I'd be reminded, hey, pain. You're yet to feel this other pain that's unimaginable, unexplainable. When you lose your parents, you'll feel it. And I'm like, everybody knows. Losing a parent, losing a child, that's the worst kind of pain anyone could feel. We all know this. Why are you telling me this? Why are you reminding me of this? Is it because you want it to happen so badly? And then I lost my dad. And I felt that pain. I felt it for the longest of times. And to get through it, I had to be in denial for a while so that I could be fully functional. But then eventually I allowed myself to feel it fully. And I still feel it on the daily. But like, life goes on, brew. I can't keep holding on to that pain and then projecting it on other people. And I can't keep going around telling other people and scaring other people about them losing their dads. They know what's gonna happen. I don't wish that upon anybody. And I don't blame the passing of my dad on anybody. And whenever things don't go right in my life, I don't blame it on the passing of my dad. If somebody feels that I've wronged them, I don't bring up the fact that I've lost my dad. Therefore, chances are that's why I'm an a-hole and I'm inconsiderate and I'm keying with your enemies. My dad died. How? That's you. That's your character. You're a grown human being, a fully grown adult.
Yabona mongakazi uhlala nengane engenayo umama, engenayo ubaba, like ungahlala nentandane. Hayi shem awubazi ubuhlungu. Hayi ukuthi zonke intandane ziyahlupha. Kodwa akasikhulume ngale yimi intandane. Hayi ngihluphile shem. Yazi ngikhumbula la engaze ngalala ehlathini. Hayi ukuthi ekhaya babengixoshile, cha babengangixoshile. Ene futhi ngangihleli nje kahle ngoba ayikho umuntu wayengihlukumeza. kodwa mina emqondweni wami ngase nginaleyo nto ukuthi ngiyahlukunyezwa la ngisho ukudla ngihlezi nje ngikhomparisha uma bengiphakela ukudla ngibone ngathi ukudla lokhu kuncane kunokwabanye makuthengelwa ingane mhlawumbe u-anti ethengela ingane yakhe ngibone sengathi okay uthengela ingane yakhe mina ngithengeli ekubeni nami ngihola iqolo like futhi ingane yakhe ithengelwa ubaba wayo ingane. Hamba isikhathi nje ngilibele ngikhomparisha ngithukana ngiyisa yazi yonke into enzakalayo mina ngivele nje ngikhomparisha ngithi nje mina ngoba nginayo umama ngoba nginayo umuntu angazi uhlala nentandane akazi. Nami nje sengibona manje ukuthi hey ngihluphile. Angikhulume kuyabafana. Ngihambe mhlawumbe ekhaya inyanga yonke. Esikole nje ngingeni ngihlalele kamfana. Futhi meqala bethi bayangithisha ngithi ngoba mina ngenayo mama ngenayo baba indaba yokuthi ngihambe ngiyohlala mina nomfana ukuthi ngenziwa ukuthi la ekhaya niyangihlukumeza. Lapha ngikhumbule nje ngishawa. Mhla ngishawa kahle angishawanga ngalwa. Ngoba ngangishawa ugogo wami nami ngamshaya. Ngithi phela ngeke ngize ngidlala ugogo engihlukumeza wara. Khona ngelinye ilanga ugogo ahamba aye eqolweni abuye ugogo eqolweni ephethe inkukhu. So athi bantu bami lungisani lenkukhu yabo. Hayi ngeke vele inyama ngiyayithanda ngibeka amanzi ngilungisele inkukhu kube mnandi ube nje Sesahleli kanjalo nogogo ungene ingane yamalume izovakasha. Ingane kamalume indala ayihlala ekhaya ihlala kubo kamama ifika ngokuvakasha. Kusho ukuthi ngine crush nje mina ngoba nje kusho ngingane vele ngalaleli ingane ethanda abafana nje la khona umfana ngikhona la khona abafana nje ngida ngoba nginalento ukuthi mina ngifuna nje uthando. Angazi uthando kanjani lo ngilifuna ngoba phela ekhaya banginikeza uthando kodwa kususa kahle ngifuna abafanele mina uthando. Ngiyeke lonto engiphekayo ngihambe kokugeza ngibe right inkukhu sengishe kanjalo ugogo seqedela ngoba uyangazi meke wathi nje ngizoqedela ngizokhuluma ngithi nje uyangihlukumeza kade mina lenkukhu ngiqalile wara yabo yonke lonto leyo self awareness nje ngigaine very late and sengingayigain ngoba sengithanda yabo ngoba sengibona ukuthi isimo sesangiphoqa ke manje ukuthi hey yazi ngangicabanga ukuthi kanje nakanje. Ngiyakhumbula ngithi bengine crush nokhazini wami. So ukhazini wami ungibuka njengosisi wakho nomncane ingane kamalume wami ngibuka njengengane encane hayi le muntu akangingaki mina lo muntu angangena khona ngangena ku Facebook ngamFacebook ngamtshela ukuthi ngichaze indlela engizizwa ngayo ukuthi kade ngizizwa ngalendlela yabo. Kanti uzovela atshela umalume mase umalume etshela ugogo mase nje itshelwane nje ekhaya singiyezwa singiyabizwa singihlalisa phansi kuthiwa ela abantu bakini bonke la bingenza kini zonke leso awukwazi ukuba necrush kumuntu wakini. Khulunywe yonke leyo nto abanye mengithuka ukuthi nje lantweni untombazane enjani abantu uhleli nabo kona ubona amadoda nani yabo yonke lonto. So ngibona ukuthi ngaze ngahlukunyezwa la ekhaya sengazi bakhulume kanje bonke ngoba bengingasho ukuthi asijole bengikhuluma nje mina ukuthi phela ngine-crush kuphelele lapho. Ingiphoxe lento kube khona ke umalumekazi wami yena akahlali uhlala nje ngasedrobheni uhlezi ujayele ukufika ekhaya nje kancane mefikile ngihlohla udoti la athi nje ekhaya badla imali yakho yeqolo ubuka nje awunawo amaphedi manje angibuze nawo amaphedi ngithi cha anginawo athi buka nje like akhulume nama ngitshele nje ukuthi yabo mina nje mongahlala nami mina ngiphatha kahle nami ngiyabona ukuthi angiphatha kahle ngempela umalumekazi uhlezi efika phela nento right la ekhaya ngiyambona ukuthi u-right yabo. Nami ngibena leyo nto ukuthi nje ngifuna ukuhlala nomalumekazi ngitshela ugogo ukuthi gogo cela itsholo lami lishintshe uma ngilihola lo malumekazi ngifuna ukuhlala naye. Hayi ugogo ke akhulume nami hayi uyafunda nje ngithi angisafuna ukuhlala ekhaya angihleli kahle mina la ekhaya ngikhulume nje konke ukuthanda kwami nangempela ke kushintshe zonke izinto zami. In fact sashintshwa mina sengasekho ngahamba ngenkani kushona kwamalumekazi ngafika mina mhlawumbe kwabamnandi nje ngiyangana mhlawumbe kwabamnandi ngoba nganganakile izinto eziningi until nginaka ukuthi yabona ngihlukunyezwe ngibe ngibalekela lapha ngithi ngiyahlukunyezwa. Ayikho inhlukumezo efana nale eyala kwamalumekazi la sekufanele ngipheke every day la sekufanele ingane yakhona sekufanele inakekelwe yimina sekufanele ngenze yonke into kanti ekhaya besishintshana ngokupheka and like manje ngiyaforce la namagama engwazwayo mina ke yabona le gama lokuthi akumini nobulali wakho Anginyanya ngabe lo gama. And ngangakaze ngilizwe ekhaya ngihlala nogogo no auntie nabo bonke abantu. Manje sengihlala nomalumekazi ngiyalizwa igama. Like manje ngithi malumekazi masiholele ngicela ukuthi nokuthi. Hey angimina mbona makho kanti wena udlali ngale mali manje usufuna ukuthengela ukuthi ngithi happy. Hey gogo bengaze ayikhulume le ndaba. Hayibo. Kwala sengibona khona ene one thing you should avoid ukuthi uyazazi ukuthi awunabazali. Musu kulalela abantu noma ulalela abantu bangaphandle noma ulalela abangani bakho esikoleni ngoba vele ayikho into abezoyisho engcono noma into abezoyisho ezokwenza ukuthi wena ufundiseke noma ubone iphutha lakho bevele bezokhuluma ukuthi hayi wena yazi lento uyabona nje nawe ukuthi cousin wakho nawe uyakwenza lokho kodwa indaba bona bengasho kuyena uyabona nje ukuthi wena imali oyihola bathi bakubalele ngisho imali yakho yeqolo ukuthi hayi wena imali oyihola yeqolo imali engaka so mawukuthi ngithenga ukudla kwemali engaka kini ngobani abafakayo ukudla lapho mawukuthi wena into ukuthi nokuthi awuyitholi ngoba kuthiwa imali eqolo ethenga ukudla like awubheka abantu ohlala nabo ngoba yabona into okufaka umqondo ukuthi mina nginabazali njalo mufika kumuntu uthi angive ngihleli kabuhlungu lapha vele ayikho into ezokhuluma engcono and ama relatives awa very wrong yabona ifamily if uhleli kini kumnandi sengangomunye umuntu angifamily ngaphandle lapha manje noma auntie noma ubani useyafika la uzokutshela ukuthi hayi umntakasisi ngimthanda uma like yabo uzama ukukusondeza close bayithanda ngamali eqolo laba bayithanda ngamali eqolo ugcina wena usujikela umuntu okade uhleli naye ekuphethe kahle ngoba uzwa into etshela umani makazi wakho noma uanti wakho ngoba uyakutshela phela ukuthi yena uzophatha kangcono bese uzobona late njengami ngagijima ngashiya ugogo wami ngashiya wonke umuntu ekhaya bengibekezele ngibathuka ngidelela bengenza kodwa ugogo mebuye eqolweni wengakazi engangiphatheli into Nkosi yami ngangakazi futhi ngilale ngilambile ngakazi futhi ngilale ngingadlile ngoba kuthiwe ukudla kukho kodwa kamali mangazi ngangikwazi ukulala ngingadlile ngoba ngibuye kuthiwa ukudla kukho kuphelile hawo kanjani ngoba ngiyakubona ukuthi usibani yabona ke leya comparison engangayengi bengiyenze ekhaya ngithi umunye uthengele umunye ngathengelwa la kamali mangazi ke sengiyayibona wangempela ngoba ekhaya bengicreate ekhanda manje sengiyayibona ngiyabona abantu nabo abaqeda ukubeka izitshane ngiyabona izintsha kusinki kade kudliwa mosinyama la uphuthu la kumnandi kodwa ukudla kuthaphelile hawo ngoba ngiyahola nje iqolo leqolo kade ngikhuluma ngale ngithi ekhaya anginikezwe mina imali kodwa ngibe ngihola nayi ngiyayibona manje yenzeka la so nje angifunda uqamba amanga mina ngize ngibaleke ke ngibona ukuthi ayikho into edlula ukuthi ngibaleke manje ngihamba kwavele sengimdala ngathi angiyoyikhipitela kwasho ukuthi vele ngihlakaniphile esikoleni ngiyasithanda qhubeka nesikole sami ngafocus manje ngiright ngihlala nomyeni wami ngiright nasesikoleni ngaqeda sengibona manje ukuthi hey and sesiyazwana ke futhi ekhaya manje mwazi umuntu engasamkhulumisi nokumkhulumisa nje sisokuthi akumini wabulala uma ngakho yeke lo line lo siyazi ukuthi anginine nabulala abazali
lalela phela ngidemand imali yami angithi phela ushonelwa abazali manje sekuyabona ukuthi no I feel like uyayidla imali yami uanti uyayidla le mali njalo mebuya kohola le mali uthenga izinto athenga ama chips obanana ayikho into ebonakalayo athenga nokudla ke niyazi ke emakhaya ukuthi uyakweleta uyakuthenga ukudla makuphele phakathi nenyanga ukweleta emakhola uyokhupha isikweleti uthathe kanjalo so njalo mebuye kohola uyakhokha ukwala njalo nje wenza lonto leyo yakhokhele imbutho izinto nje mangicela something ukuthi kunoskinji nongubonile kunehipster engibonile somewhere ngiyacela ngitshela indaba zokuthi ngeke phela njalo ngomholi uthola into oyifunayo njalo umholiwe khona into ofanele uyithole uyazi nafanele sithenga ukudla fanele yabo abanye izinto afanele sisenze endlini vele ngibone ngathi manje sekudliwa le mali yami kahle sekudliwa lezi imazi zami phela ngangisehola u900 leso sikhathi ngani u900 and something I don't remember bona ngathi sekudliwa le mali yami angiyithola izinto engiyifunayo uyanginikeza ukuthi mhlawumbe ngiyorelax uma ngineyinwele njalo kufanele ngirelax every month uyanginikeza ukuthi ngihambe ngiyorelax kule mali uyangitshela ukuthi uzothatha u300 wokudla wonke umuntu la endlini uzokhipha u300 sibaningi siwu8 la ekhaya umuntu nomuntu athi ngikhipha u300 kulo 900 wakho bese futhi angibalele nje izinto memuye uhola uthenga inkukhu nje angibalele ngibona ngathi no uyangibalela ngempela ungitshela ukuthi ukhipha u300 emalini yokudla then nalabo abanye vele ngibona ukuthi udliwa le yami imali. Udliwa le yami imali manje. Yindaba ngikhipha u300 le salayo uyenzani uzongibalela indaba zemibutho mina ngicanga lapha nemibutho. Ngimtshele ngithi yazini ngicela imali yami esandleni otherwise ngizoya kuma social worker ngiwatshele ukuthi wena udla imali yami awungenzeli lutho anginazo into zokugqoka njalo nje ngiholiwe ngibalela izitori so ngicela imali yami esandleni. Hayi u-anti abona ukuthi yazini ngizoyihola njalo sesimali yakho ngikunike ngiphume kuwena. Hayi ke kwase kwenzeka njalo ukuthi miholile uyanginika wayenginike mhlawumbe wayengipha nje wayenginika imali ukuthi ngiyokwenza ikhanda ngithenga izinto zokugcoba noma engithengele izinto zokugcoba ngabona ukuthi mina ngifuna ukuziphathelayo wena fine anginike imali yami ngibe sharp ngibe mocha. Hey i-boyfriend enganginayo iqolo laselaziwa uyena njalo meholiwe kasokwazi yena abona kwathi 29 30 hey umhla ka1 kumhla ka1 ke ngaleso sikhathi kwathi 29 kwathi 30 ngizwa ngaye uyangibhala ama message ngokwendlela ngithanda ngayo njalo ngomhla ka1 fanele ngiyolala kubo ndifanele ngithenge isiminofu ngithenge iwayini sithenga amathumbu siyabhiyoza njalo nje meholiwe ngicina sengayithenga ngezinto zokugcoba ngicina sengarelaxanga wathi angunde iyangifanele ikhathi khona isithombe la kulo benye Facebook bami abadala ngishayile enkundile mhlawumbe ngizosifuna ngibhekele la kanqala khona ukufunda. Hayi nangempela ngibona ukuthi nomuntu amqanisile and there's no way ukuthi ngingaba muntu ikhathi mekusho yena ukuthi nje iyangifanele then kusho ukuthi iyangifanele yimi lo yangagunda njalo ke manje meholiwe kasho ngabona ukuthi u-anti wathi yazi ngikhipha imali yokudla ngikhipha imali yokudla isale le enye imali athi khipha imali yombutho phela sisifanele njengoba ungaka nje mase ufile uzonqotshoba ngimnike lo mali ngibheke kufanele ngithinta zokugcoba fanele ngithenga izinto ngibale ngithe lezi zinto lezi azeneli le mali incane fanele futhi lo mfana ngimnikeze imali hawu and makuthengwa inkukhu futhi fanele iphume kakula kumina phela laba abanye bakhiphile nami fanele ngikhiphe ngoba phela ngaphandle nje kokudla inkukhu ekhaya nje uyise ukuthi meholiwe izinkukhu zifanele noma ziwu2 basibaningi izingane. Hey ayidla mfana imali kwasho ngabona ukuthi angisafuni njalo meholo ngimtshela ukuthi angizi ngizoba busy engilande ngithi ngiyamfica athi wozala ngase toilet clean ngithi ngiyambona nayo ifone athi indaba manje wasafoni ngithi mina hayi cha ngibale nje ukuthi lapha ngibhizinisi azesikole nani athi letha ke imali ngihambe kothola ibhodlela nabangani bami ngishilo ngathi ngizofaka imali ngithi ngiyanqaba angiblackmail umfana ukuthi kanti awusangithandi yini. Hey mina ave ngikuthanda futhi hlezi siphuza imali yami namhlanje ngithi mina ngizothenga ibhodlela ngizobe ngingekho ngize ngiliphuze athi cabangela mina ke sithando sami hayi nami ngimcabangela umuntu wami njalo ngimnika imali angisathengi ngisho ubra angisathengi ngisho iphedi kanti kwakungcono ngalesa sikhathi phela u-anti wayengithengela azi ukuthi mhlawumbe after 10 months uzongithengela obra namaphedi njalo ngithengela hayi inyanga zonke inyanga nenyanga ngathenga lokho kuthengekayo manje angisakwazi ukuzithengela lutho le mali angiyibona iphelelaphi. Hayi bukahle sengiyahlupheka ngicina sengicela u-anti ngithi ngicela i-roll on azi nje u-anti lutho sengokhala ke ngithi nje ngiyahlukunyezwa ekhaya yini nje enzima ukuthi ngiphiwe ama-roll on nje ngintshontsha ama-roll on abantu ngintshontsha amaphedi abantu angisakwazi ukuyithengela ilunch esikoleni mina angisazidla indaba zoma-chips indaba zogwinya esikoleni ngiyahamba ngiyothenga lapha o-steam bread le breakfast edliwa othisha khona enye ikontene othisha babethenga kuyona ngangakaze ngibone ngane esikole iyothenga lapha ngoba ziyabiza yimi lo yangishaya ngebreakfast encinci hayi kuseni ngithenge i-steam bread esihamba noshatini esihamba nenyama namaqanda emini futhi ngiyothenga iplate kuyabiza mhlawumbe kudlula iviki siphelile lo mali ayinane viki few days siphelile lo mali back to ukudla kwasesikoleni ngiyafika ekhaya ngiyadabukisa ngine-stress nge-depression imali ayikho imali hayi ngicela u-anti ngithi anti ngicela ukuthi imali ibuyele ngakwena ngiyabona ukuthi ngiyaxakeka into eziningi futhi ivele ilahleke ngithi ngiyiphethe imali ilahlekile athi anti unamanga ngizwile vele ukuthi wena njalo uma uholile uhlala nalo mfana ozacile akhuluma anti aza ngisayifuna ithatha imali yakho wakhuluma kabi wena nje ufuna imali yakho ngimtshela ngithi angikho right and ngizofa manje ngoba le mali le iyaduka ngithi bayahlupha umuntu ongenayo umama hayi bayabekeza uhle kanana hayi sihluphile
We can't keep crying about losing our parents as fully grown adults, bruh. Like, what? And then what? Whose fault is it? I know I'm gonna lose my mom eventually. I worry about that every single day. And that's one of the reasons why I've always made it a point to make the most of each and every moment spent with my parents. And if there's any opportunity I missed out on, I'm just like, hey man, I missed out on it. I can't bring them back. And I can't blame anyone else for their passing. Hey bo. Ha. I know what it's like to lose a parent, bruh. It doesn't justify bad behavior. It doesn't justify betrayal. It doesn't justify being an a-hole and being indecent and unkind and inconsiderate towards people who've been good to you. It doesn't. So yeah, Yonkelem Godoi, we're busy attacking my mom. She's sitting in the middle listening to this, that, and the third coming from different directions. From people who are supposed to love her, protect her, her siblings, same mom, same dad, and I remember seeing that and watching all the bystanders and eyewitnesses just watching, doing nothing, saying nothing, even those who were old enough to speak up. And I was like, oh, Konjelan. So it's just me and my mom against the world. And I remember thinking to myself, these motherfuckers literally violate my mother and myself all my life, and they expect respect from me. They expect me to be cordial, to maintain healthy, positive relationships with them and their children. They expect what's this? Gedwa phezu kwamakhandithi kodwa nje thina suhlezi nje. Hawu nishoda ngani? Hawu nithi ngani? Sikhona nakho okwabantu nyway okwabo gogo. My mom and I are just expected to take all the abuse. Angazi YouTube phela manje si sensitive ngendlela eyisimanga, but inhlukumezo siyithatha iqhamuka from different directions. Siqhubeke nje thina sibe sweet. Abantu basimakethe live jive. When you know very well and you hear from people closest to those people that whenever your name is mentioned, the mood changes in this house. People get irritated. People switch up. People get annoyed. People say things that aren't very nice, which is really strange because I thought you were good. This happens to be your favorite person. I know this. But unfortunately, you're not their favorite person and they don't even refer to you as their sister. Hey! Shiny! All my life, I thought I had gang siblings. I didn't know what mina kahle kahle fanele ngabe ngiyibona as lozinyo bulala kahle kahle enguyena. Because ngigedwa phela. Mina ngenza ukuba usisi, ngenza ubuntu, and I considered everyone my sibling. Little did I know that behind closed doors, people are like, hey, I don't see that one. I don't count, and I don't consider that one as my sibling. Mina njalo, that's why. After all the sacrifices I've made, after all the good deeds that came from me, there isn't a single soul ekhaya mele khona iqiniso emhlabeni noma lingekho. But if they're gonna be honest with themselves, there isn't a single soul ongathi mina umazethu angibulala. Zanenhle wronged me in the worst way. I don't trust people. I am broken. I am shattered because Zanenhle did A, B, C, and D to me. There isn't a single soul. So you tell me why people hate me so much. People I consider my family, my siblings, my bosom buddies. And it's actually so crazy. It's so crazy. You know, my husband said the other day, it's so crazy how your family members expect so much from you and your mom, but they wrong you in the craziest ways. Yet they're so sensitive. Whenever you reciprocate their energy, they feel it. They're so sensitive. It's so mind-boggling. It's like, so you know that what you're doing to me is wrong and it hurts and it shouldn't be done. But when I give it back, it's a thing. And that time I just chose not to share a piece of information with you because you keep choosing not to share certain things with me. Brew, people have the nerve to shite on and downplay all my mom's efforts after everything she's done, after everything she has sacrificed. People have the gall, the gumption, the nerve, and the audacity to talk about how they went to shitty schools. What? You got an education edropeni, wakibeli moto na taxi, wafunda wakokota. Even got an opportunity to study further, and you failed yourself. But you shift the blame onto my mom? Zhuang. There is no winning when you're a breadwinner, when you're a giver, when you're a lover, when you're a peace seeker, when you're a peacemaker. There is no winning. People only worship a-holes. Let me tell you this. This is what I've learned in life. And I remember when I first heard the quote, "No good deed goes unpunished." I was just like, what does that even mean? Why would anyone be punished for performing a good deed? And baby, you're the most hated person when you're a good person. They will punish you for doing well, for helping them. There are people right now, this very moment, who hate you, who are bad-mouthing you, but wabatagula. Wabatagula sizini, wabatagula ekfeni. Wabatagula enwabeni nje, yezinto ezimbi, nezibhlungu. You've helped so many people. You've been selfless. You've been generous. You've been kind. You've been a decent person. You've practiced Ubuntu all your life. And the thank you will get is ufuseki. Angwazi wena. Anginama mina. Anginasisi mina. You failed me. That time, Ikaya is infested with imgqomo nemigqomokazi who could have contributed in one way or the other to ensure that every person gets whatever it is they feel they deserve. But, kuplenyuma, people are like, name someone who attended that school and actually made it. And we name a few, and they're like, well, But anyway, the teachers never paid attention to us there, and everybody was constantly fighting over there. Like, what? What? And if that really were the case, why didn't you tell your elders so that that would be addressed? And if it didn't change, then you would be moved to a different school, and hopefully everybody else who is piggybagging off of my mom would have helped. Put you into a school that you feel you deserve to attend. Why is it that everybody else made it and you didn't? Why is it that after you attended that school and you were given an opportunity to study elsewhere and better yourself, you failed? Can we talk about that? Whose fault was that? My mom's fault again? When are all the good things and all the sacrifices that we've made and all the pain and suffering and trials and tribulations and traumas that we've endured going to be mentioned? When are we going to be praised for remaining good people, regardless of the suffering we've endured and the betrayal we've experienced at your hands? Can we talk about that? Kanti nisifunani kahle kahle? Nifuna ukusimunca igazi. Niyojabula mhla sifile. Because there isn't a single soul that doesn't know that my mom did her best. And if there's something she couldn't do, it's because she couldn't do it. When my mom wasn't working, we ate burgers, pizza. We went out for movie nights. We went out to restaurants. We went out shopping for new clothes. How she made that happen? No one knows. And no one cares but me. Nobody talks about that. People will make up lies that they start to believe, and they say, "Tina sasidlu anyanis no carrot." When? I've never had a rubbish meal in my life, thanks to my mom. And she ensured that everyone around me, around her, all the time. I remember we even had a saying when my mom wasn't working. And we were like, isimo, 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 isimo. And we'd joke about it and we'd laugh about it because we didn't even feel it, bro. And my mom would be like, yo, I'm going to hustle for this and that, but you know, isimo. But I'm going to try my best. And she'd always do the most and get whatever it is we needed and even things that we wanted, things we didn't need. We always had it. Asikaze silale singadlile, asikaze swele lutho under my mom's watch, under my mom's care. We never ran out of anything. Even in the darkest of times when nobody helped us, even people who had it like that. And they didn't see the need to help my mom. And she carried everybody on her back, even old ass people, fully grown people, fully capable people, people who are working. She'd always be their savior. She gave and gave and gave and put her life on hold. Built her house years later when it's something she could have done in her 20s, but because she was busy giving to ungrateful, unappreciative people, she put her life on hold. Could have had the best car, the car of her dreams, but she couldn't because she was doing her best giving to ungrateful people who don't remember all of that today. How convenient. And that is exactly why I vowed never to walk in her footsteps, because I saw myself walking in them. And I saw I saw how people began to disrespect me, how people didn't appreciate my efforts. And they would question certain things and they would expect, what? From me? What more do you want from me after everything I've done? After everything I've shared? After losing my entire childhood? What more do you want from me? And you have the nerve to be angry at me because I'm blessed? You have the nerve to exclude me and highlight that wena umagcina. And it's not me who's umagcina, because I thought we were all siblings. You have the nerve to highlight that I'm not your sister. So-and-so is your sister, and so-and-so is your sister, not me. Or not I. You have the nerve to go for years without my number. You have the audacity to not congratulate me when I buy a house. How then do I share that I've bought yet another house? When you've shown me time and time again that you're jealous and you're hateful and you don't really care about me. How are you my sister? How are you a family member of mine? And you don't have my number, and I constantly have to ask for your number from different people, from you, and you don't give it to me, and I constantly question why we don't talk, and it's a thing. You would see excuses after excuse, but you talk to certain people. How are you wishing me a happy birthday via someone else when you could just simply ask for my number and call me or text me and wish me a happy birthday? When I used to send you gifts and money on your birthday. And I'm not saying do the same, I'm just saying be a decent person to me because I've been decent to you. Why is it that after I got married, you stopped talking to me, dadewethu? Why is it that the minute I start standing up for myself and I start speaking up for my mom and I see children distancing themselves from me? Children who used to be my besties, children I was super tight with. What's happening behind closed doors? What are you telling the children? What poison are you feeding the youngins? What makes you think it's okay for you as my sister, usisi wami omdala njalo, ukuthi mina mengixabana nomunye usisi wethu silwa sibanga ukuthi hayi 10 yakho yokugeza amabhodwe namhlanje, hayi eyakho ngwageza ilizola usakhumbuli, hayi sibanga izinto, normal things that siblings argue over. What makes it okay? What makes you think it's okay for you as our elder sister to shout, "Shaya umazethi, mshaye loyo"? What makes you as my elder sister think it's okay? Ukuthi when I'm asking, ukuthi iphi into ukuthi, when I'm trying to find something and I'm like, have you seen this and that? And you're just like, look for it. Look for it, damn it. You're so lazy. Find it yourself. Why are you asking everybody else? You have this tendency. That time it was my very first time, mind you, asking that person where a certain thing is. I think I was looking for a shoe. And I was like, have you seen this particular shoe? And they just snapped at me. And I was like, hey, bo, Une-tendency nje wena ukuvela ubuze nje into ungayibhekile. Awuyibheke man, hey, ngazosivila phela la uzosicefezela. Hayibo! What happened? How did I hurt you? What warrants this anger, this behavior towards me? When did we become enemies? I thought we were cool. You and I were super tight. What went wrong? Oh, you started chilling with my worst enemy. There's absolutely no way that a person who doesn't practice witchcraft can be bosom buddies with a person who practices witchcraft. There's no way. Whether you're cognizant of that fact or not, there's just no way. Think about it and look at your life and study certain things, analyze them, and ask yourself why things are happening the way they are. Don't take things personally and get mad at me and try to attack me or start hating me even worse than you already do. I'm advising you because I may be younger than you, but clearly I know better. What makes you think that you as an elder sister can come home and say, you know, my boyfriend said, this other sister of ours is such a catch. The men, the boys are drooling over her. Everybody wants her. Not this other one, not the light-skinned one, the darker one. How? Hayi wena mbovana, ngisho lo omnyamana ngebala. Uyena bamfunayo, hayi wena mbovana. But and then I don't care. Angfuni bangfune. Like, I've been targeted all my life by different people from all walks of life, especially amadoda, and it's annoying. It's annoying. I want other women to experience ukufunwa bakithi. I really do. I really do. Ngiyabafisela bakithi nabo bake banagwe. Like, yazi wisicafanga ngihlezi unakiwe noma ikuphi wena ngisho ngathi ugqwama livi uzama ukuyicamouflage, uzama ukuba invisible, but you always stand out. Do you understand how annoying that is? No matter how hard you try to hide from the world, you always stand out. And everybody wants a piece of you. I don't want to take that away from another woman. I'm not competing for the male gaze or attention. I don't care. I want other women to get that attention. I've gotten it all my life. Iyakataza. And I still get it like crazy, regardless of the fact that I'm married. I still get it like crazy, regardless of the fact that I've won and I've found the love of my life, my soulmate, the best man in the world. I'm not competing for anything or anyone or against anyone, especially not my sister. So why would you say that? And why would you say it like that? Like, why is it a colorism thing now? And why would you... And this is another thing people don't talk about, because when pretty people or people on the fairer side of the color or complexion spectrum start speaking up about such things, people are like, oh, shut up. Your experiences are invalid. That time you get bullied all your life for being conventionally attractive, as if you're the one who set beauty standards. You get attacked. You get hate, jealousy, envy. People literally want to slice your face. People want to off you simply because you exist and you look a certain way and you're attracting so much attention and all the men want you, even though you don't want them back. But you're the problem. Your family members, hell, your sisters compete with you. People compete and compare. Every single time it comes to you, you could be chilling, minding your own business, but already someone is in competition with you. Someone is in competition with you, whether you realize it or not, whether it's low-key or high-key. But you're always in danger when you're conventionally attractive, regardless of how pure your heart is, regardless of all the good you've done, and how great you treat people. You're an enemy, Jewin. The anger and disapproval is misdirected and it comes right at you as if you're the one who set the beauty standards. It's so wild. And if mhlambe I was the type of person to kosha and deliberately and intentionally and maliciously make people feel like shite because of their looks or whatever, their skin tone, their achievements, mhlambe I'd get ukuthi animosity kamgapi. But all I am is a girl who knows who she is, who's confident in herself, and who does the best that she can do, who minds her business and who doesn't compete with anyone, who doesn't compare herself to anyone, who's just trying to better herself, as well as everyone she crosses paths with. So I never get it. Like, I'll never understand all this anger, this animosity, this hatred, this jealousy, this envy. I didn't ask to be the person that I am. I didn't ask to be as blessed as I am. I don't try to stand out. I just do. I didn't ask to look the way that I look. I didn't ask to be as articulate as I am. I didn't ask to be as intelligent as I am. I didn't ask for anything. I just exist and I do my best. And I'm tired of dimming my light. I'm tired of walking on eggshells. I'm tired of trying to make people comfortable. I'm tired of constantly trying to squash myself into a box so that I restrict myself and my power, my light, my greatness doesn't shine through because I make people uncomfortable by simply existing. And you know, I really want people to love on each other. You guys are siblings. Love on each other, praise each other, post each other. But like, I also can tell when it starts being shady. I can tell when you're deliberately excluding me from certain conversations, posts, pictures, and you're highlighting that it's just me, Sbanbani, 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 and Sbanbani, and excluding me. I can tell when it starts getting shady. I can tell when you're highlighting that you get certain amounts from a certain sibling of yours, when I've never received that allowance, and neither has my mom. You know, I can tell when things are being rubbed in my face and people are being sneaky and shady towards me and my mom, and it's just like, what is it really? What is the issue? What is the matter? What is the problem? Nisifunani kangaka. Nakhona, when you voice out your experiences and when you share the truth, people get upset. When utula and you distance yourself, people get upset. When you cut people off, people get upset. There's no winning. Uyangzonda, you don't like me. You exclude me. You make it crystal clear that I'm not one of you. And then when I take myself out of the equation and I'm like, okay, I get it. Let me give you your space so you can enjoy your siblings and your life and whatever story that you share. It's a problem. I'm the problem. Kanjan futmanj. Anywho, the municipality folks helped rebuild our home, right? And they just built the same structure that it was. So they basically just replaced everything the way that it was. Let me tell you, Lady in Black goes around saying, yo, if it weren't for uhulumeni nje umuntu ngabo homeless, umuntu ngabo hobo. If it weren't for the government and the municipality folks, I would be homeless, I would be a hobo, my child and I wouldn't know where to go. What do you mean? You've always had a home that my mom extended and renovated. What do you mean the municipality folks and the government helped you? What do you mean the government built you a home when you've always had a home? And when things were rough, you always had a home to go to. And even when that home was burnt down, you always had another home to go to. Because my mom always welcomed you with open arms. Yeah. People are wild, and it's so crazy how they conveniently forget every single thing that you've done for them, to better them, their lives, to celebrate them, to help them, and then they just hate you, and they turn everyone else against you as well, and they recruit other people to hate you with them. Like, the wildest thing for me was witnessing our helper, the person who was looking after my grandmother. Engzonda bro, that time angihlali ngisho nalaphayana akangazi. Our helper didn't know me from a bar of soap. I'd only go home just to see my gran, bathe her, talk to her, make her lunch or whatever, and I'd go back home. That's it. But she hated me. She couldn't stand me. And I remember when my grandmother passed away and she walked into our home, Lady in Black was chilling by the sink in the kitchen, and I was chilling by the corridor, and these spots happen to be adjacent to each other. So I see the helper walk in, she hugs Lady in Black, and they shed a few tears and they hold each other for a minute. And then she walks up, obviously in order to get to the next room, she's gonna pass by me. She walks towards me and I'm like, hi. And she looks at me like, and she keeps walking and I'm like, Lucy, does she know ukuthi impilo yakhe bengiyiphethe kanje? I could have easily told my mom, stop paying that lady. She ill treats me. She makes me feel uncomfortable. I know she doesn't like me and there's no reason for her to not like me besides the fact that lady in black is constantly feeding her poison about me. The only reason she respects you is because you pay her. You're her boss. But kahle, I'm your daughter and she's making me uncomfortable. So stop paying her. Fire her. Find someone else who's decent and who'll study people and see them for who they truly are. But I didn't because that's not who I am. I just let her do her thing. And I was just like, yo, funila mama. And it's such a shame because angiroki ganjena and she could use some flavor from me because I got bori. But oh well. And lapho umthole sweet ekwazi ukuqaqeka mekukhona abanye abantu kwafika mina avela beyidumbe nje ashwaqa umuntu. Hey bo, kwenze njani sibangani auntie? Awusemdala ubangani nami. Uhamba ulalela ugoga abadala bekhumula behleba ngezingane ezincane. Why not wait ungibone mina for who I really am? The very same auntie Gogo who would abuse you while you're busy taking care of her mom and who'd tell you what to do, how to do it, and she'd smack you around. And you'd sometimes go home and be like, I can't take this. This woman is making my life a living hell. I'm trying to help her. I'm trying to make sure her mom is good, but she's just causing chaos. But you listen to that person. And I remember seeing a huge smirk on Lady in Black's face when that lady did that to me. And I was like, this sick fool, bro. Like your mom just passed away and you're getting some sort of thrill from witnessing a stranger be mean to your daughter. Because that's how much you hate your daughter. Like you're sick, bro. Like you're sick and I really hope you're getting some sort of help. Because, yo, Haibo. And I remember what, yo, bra guningi, and it keeps getting guningi here. But I'm just saying all this to say, no good deed goes unpunished. And now I actually understand that saying. Uzozondelwa nje ukuthi uya exista, uzozondelwa ukuthi umuhle, umgahle, ugqoka kahle, uyasebenza, uthandwa amadoda, ebumnandini udansa kamnandi, uvula isikokela. Bro, zonke izinto that people could do bona self. But ultimately, Mauno Tobo, when you've been anointed, when you're covered by the blood of Jesus, when you're constantly blessed and protected by the Lord, you will receive hate that you yourself will never be able to fathom in this lifetime. And the best you could do is focus on yourself and focus on those who are good to you. Focus on those who are genuine and who genuinely want to see you win and who celebrate you the way you celebrate them and who reciprocate your positive energy. Otherwise, Hashem uzokula and uzobulawa uguti, you're busy trying to win everybody over. It's not worth it. You're not money. Not everyone's gonna love you. There are people who hated Jesus. Okay? So come to terms with the fact that nawe unabantu abakuzondayo, and yes, it sucks and it's painful that it could be your family members, your friends, your colleagues, people closest to you, people you adore and whom you would for. But be happy when people show their butts and treat them accordingly. Bro, I remember saying Valanje, uzubone how deep umona wasekhaya is. There's a guy who's renting our outside building, La Payanagui family home, and he hadn't met my mom, right? So my mom went to our family home this one Slimanyana day, as per usual, with whatever. And mind you, every time my mom would go home to our family home to help her mom, bathe her mom, feed her mom, talk to her mom, bond with her mom, Lady in Black would be like, hey, yabona ke manje umgezelani ukushobani ukuthi fanele adle leyo nto. Hey, yabona nje. When my mom and her mom would smile and laugh and talk about things and reminisce about the past and hey mntanami avungisiza wena unesi wami, my grand would constantly say that, yo, you're my nurse, my baby, I love you so much, you help me in so many ways, you're such a sweetheart. She even gifted my mom with like cutlery, golden cutlery, like real golden cutlery and some duvets and I remember a lady in black was fuming. What do you mean? This is not your house. You don't have a house. You've never owned anything in your life. This is our family home. Anyone can come and go as they please. It's ours. And she's here to see her mom. And she gets to do whatever she wants to do to her mom and with her mom. Who are you? Like, what? Who do you think you are? What are you? I know what you are, but like, bro. And she'd make my mom feel bad and feel guilty for taking care of her mom and visiting her mom. And then whenever she wanted to do zinto zakhe zobumnyama, and when she was fed up with my grandmother being around and seeing all these things, because my grandmother would say, yo, you're evil, you're dirty, you do the grimiest things. And at first we didn't understand what she meant by that, but I always knew, but then I couldn't voice it out because I was a child, and children don't have voices. Elders don't take children as people. It's actually so mind-blowing. And also, people just don't take children seriously. People don't take anyone seriously, ekaya. If you're not Lady in Black, they don't take you seriously, especially if you're my mom or if you're me. They don't take you seriously because we hate you guys. So shut up, basically. And so whenever she was fed up with my grandmother's presence and my grandma telling her the biznayi, she'd be like, hey, ngizombulala lo mama, wezanele uzomthatha, kophuma isidumbu lana ngeke kube sami. Lo mama lo uyahlupha uyanginyanyisa, yamzonda futhi. Talking about her own mom. The very same mom she would put her paws on, mind you. You're the scum of the earth. You can't tell me anything about respect, about life, about elders, about anything. Ha! The devil spawned Uqobo. So my mom came through to visit her mom, and the tenant met her for the first time that day. And then Lady in Black was like, oh, let's call him Mandla. Oh, Mandla, nangu zanele. And Mandla was like, oh wow, she's beautiful. And Lady in Black was like, she's beautiful. Muhle. But like kunconywa usisi wakhe and wenza leyo face, wenza leyo remark. Do you understand? Bra, unomona kanjani bese ngomuntu wakini? How are you jealous of your relative? How are you jealous of your sister? Like, I do not understand this whole thing of the concept in jealousy, and I don't get it. Yes, people justify it, brew, but never in my life have I ever looked at anyone, especially someone that I love, and I think, aha, why you? I wish I had that. Why not me? Never. So to me, it'll always be wild. And I realize now, as a grown-ass woman, I realize, Uti, we're so different. Even if we're raised by the same person or the same people and in the same household, our hearts, our personalities, our character, different. And there's nothing that can be done about that. Our parents bangayibhuquzisa phansi, bathi kodwa Nkosi yami, where did I go wrong? I thought I taught you everything you needed to know about how to be a decent and kind human being. Bro, that's the person that they are. You've played your part, you're done. They chose to be this person, or they just were born as that person, and there's nothing you can do about it. Stop beating yourself up about it. You did your best. And this is for my mom in particular, because my mom always beats herself up about the outcome and the results of impilo nje zabanye abantu. And I'm just like, bro, ayikho into ongayenzanga, ayikho into ongasenzelanga yona. There's nothing you didn't teach us, there's nothing you didn't do for us. You gave your all. Bese kusela ukuthi usincelisa igazi lakho. People chose their paths. People are who they are. You're not God. You don't get to change that. Even this other time, my mom and Lady in Black were walking to the bus stop together, and our neighbor was like, oh my goodness, you guys look so good. Sister, sister, you look like twins. And Lady in Black was like, we look like twins. And she looked at my mom up and down. And the lady was like, yeah, chances are you look like twins because you're constantly together and you guys actually get along like a house on fire. Pun intended. Ha! You guys get along like a house on fire. And she was like, Siyazwana, we get along. And I remember my mom always tells me, Brew, that look in her eyes, I literally saw fire in her eyes. And I was just like, my goodness. What lives inside of my sister that makes her so evil and so hateful? What is it about me that brings so much anger and animosity? It's your light, baby girl. Keep doing you. Do right by those who do right by you. Learn to cut off people who do not deserve to be in your space. Learn to numb your heart. I know you love people. I know you're a lover. I know you want peace. But you can't bring about peace in people who thrive off the blood that spills during war. And every time my mom gets complimented for something, whether it's her looks, the way she dresses, her ladylike demeanor, her peaceful, kind, caring nature, uyoshintsha ulady in black ebusweni. And this is what I've experienced all my life as well. Growing up in a household filled, infested with people who are jealous. Every single time I'd do something right, I'd achieve something, I'd get a compliment, my goodness, the energy would shift. The faces of the people around me would shift. Now I have to, dim my lights. I have to walk on eggshells and be like, don't worry, now muhle, now uhlakaniphile, now sexy, now izinto ezinhle ziyakulandela. Bro! I've always had to be apologetic for simply existing and being who I am. Abantu abadala, bro. Your elders baze bathi, hey phela abanye abantu nje bahlezi benconywa bona, banconywa ngobuhle, banconywa ngokuqhwa kahle, izinto ezinhle ezibizayo, banconywa ukuthi bona bahamba amaphesheya. Nathi sinokwethu sike sibatshazwe ngakho sinconywe sivunywe. How sekuthiweni? Is it a competition? That's good. I want you to get compliments. I want you to get all the praise. I'm rooting for you. I want you to win. You can't flex on me because I'm rooting for you. And I actually want you to do the most. I want you to beat me even. That's how much I love you. I want you to do better than me. Brafethu kuningi, and I could keep going on and on and on and on. But in closing, I just want to say one of the many reasons I chose not to have children out of wedlock was because I wanted to ensure that my children would be safe. I didn't want my children to suffer like me, or even worse, simply because they were mine. With my in-laws, I know for a fact that my children will be well taken care of, even if mina ngisekho la emhlabeni. No matter what happens to me, because I can't trust my own blood to take care of my children. Can you imagine, as a child, I knew that there was no way I could just have children nje ezingenakhaya, where they belong, where they are loved, and they will be protected and sheltered and well taken care of. Because I knew that my family would fail me. I knew that my family would violate my children for simply being my children. I knew that every single good thing that happened to me irked my family. And it would get to a point where my children would be told, now you're in the same boat as us. You thought you were better than us because your mom was the ish. You get me? So it's important to look out for yourself and to look out for future generations, because, oh my goodness, this world is beautiful, but the people make it very cold and dangerous. We constantly need to have our guard up. I know it's such a crappy way of living, but we're forced to constantly be alert, to constantly be careful, even when it comes to our own blood, because they hate us for simply existing. They hate the good that we do, and they hate the good that happens to us and for us. And if you're a breadwinner, if you're a good person, even if you're not a breadwinner, but if you're a good person who looks out for people, who has people's backs, who shows up for people, who helps out wherever you can and whenever you can, who's a lover, who's a peace seeker, a peacemaker, who wants to do right by everybody, who's forgiving, kind-hearted, gentle, God-fearing, who has a lot of love and light to give, and you just want to spread it like confetti, do that. But choose the people that receive that. Choose yourself more than anything. Put yourself first. Being selfless isn't a very smart and beneficial thing to be. Give people what they give you. And if they stoop too low and you can tell, I can't go that far, cut them off. It's okay. Protect yourself. Give to those who deserve. But more than anything, give to yourself.